A guy who was born in a family who didn't know anything else to do became an actor, that too not that good. So it's just my destiny, my luck has put me here.
You don't think you're a good actor?
No. I don't take my success really seriously. Till the time it's there, it's there. Because I've seen a lot of the yesteryear stars who go through a lot of stuff because they took it, to their head. And today now they're destroyed.
So here's the thing, it's 2025 and Salman Khan is still one of the biggest names in Bollywood, well, technically. But if you're being honest, it's starting to feel like his name is the only thing that's carrying him at this point. Not the work he's doing, not the films he's starring in, just pure brand equity. And that's starting to wear a little thin at this point because lately it's not even about whether a movie is good or bad, it's about how little effort is being put in and how long that can last even before the most loyal of fan base checks out. So, without a further ado, let's talk about that. Now, to be very clear, there was a time when Salman Khan was a box office gold. Wanted in 2008 kicked off a full blown reinvention. He wasn't just an actor anymore, he was a genre. Dabangg made him a demigod. For a decade, he was unstoppable. One man army roles, Eid releases, punchlines that became Instagram bios. It worked very well. He didn't need scripts, he needed slow motion and a good hook step. And to his credit, that takes charisma. Not everyone can pull it off. But the thing is that run was built on momentum, not adaptability, and you can only coast on momentum for so long. Post Sultan, I think it got a little bit rough. Tubelight tried to pivot into emotional territory and flopped drastically. Race 3 went full parody, or unintentionally, obviously. Radhe was so aggressively lazy it felt like a dare. It wasn't just bad movies, it was like the same movie over and over again with slightly different packaging. The same character, same beats, same tropes, but every time with less energy, less conviction, and less reason for existing. And I think by the time Kisi Ke Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan dropped, it was almost surreal, like watching someone reenact their whole career in a low budget theme park version of itself. Now, what went wrong? Let's simplify this. Number one, the formula stopped working. You can't rely on the same macho savior of the masses angle forever. The audiences grow up, Salman does not. Number two, the scripts are getting worse. Not mediocre, just plain worse. Like AI generated nonsense. Dialogue that sounds like it was written in a WhatsApp group chat, plots that feel they were brainstormed during a lunch break. Number three, there is no hunger left. This might sound a little bit harsh, but it feels like he doesn't care anymore. No reinvention, no risk, no sense of urgency, just a cycle of doing the bare minimum, throwing in a song, and hoping that the fan base just shows up. Meanwhile, Shah Rukh Khan took real risks. He disappeared, came back, and blew the doors off with Pathan and Jawan. Love them or hate them, they were intentional. Amir's last film flopped, but at least he's trying to do something different with each new film. Even the younger crowd, Ranveer, Vicky, they're picking projects that challenge them. They're adapting to how people actually watch films now. Salman's not adapting, he's treating cinema like a ritual. Eid release, walk in slow motion, rinse, and then repeat. It's almost like he's not interested in making movies anymore. He's just interested in releasing them. Now let's talk about the ecosystem around him. Nobody's pushing him to do better. His production house is pumping out forgettable content. He's launching people that absolutely shouldn't be in front of the camera yet. And the directors he's working with, half of them are either debutants or depend entirely on him for the box office. There's no telling him, hey, maybe, don't say that line. Maybe don't shoot the film like this. Like, don't shoot a film like it's a TikTok video. When you're too big to be challenged, mediocrity becomes your baseline. Now, the question is, can he bounce back? Well, the short answer is yes, but not with another action film, not with another remake, not by playing the same character at 58 that he played at 38. He needs to take a step back and pick something that scares him, a dark role, a grounded role, something where he's not the hero, just the actor. People want to root for Salman. He has presence, he can be magnetic when he tries, but the key word here is try. Right now, he's not trying. So, to conclude this video, here's the real deal. Legacy isn't about how long you stayed on top. It's about what you did when the things started to fall apart. Did you adapt? Did you evolve? Or did you just double down on what was working and hope nobody ever noticed? Salman Khan had a great run at the movies, a run that most actors dream of. Most actors would kill for that run. But right now, the brand is hanging on by nostalgia. And the thing about nostalgia is that it eventually fades. And I feel at some point you have to be honest with yourself also. Even the biggest stars have to choose, do they keep playing the hero or do they finally become an actor? Because if they don't, if they keep recycling roles surrounded by yes men bagging on nostalgia like it's still 2012, then what we're saying isn't a career. It's a slow motion fade out dressed up as a comeback. And that's not legacy. Legacy isn't built on how many times your movies have crossed 100 crores. It's built on how you evolve when the old tricks stop working. The audience doesn't remember who stayed on top the longest. They remember the one who grew, who took real risks, who dared to become something more than their own myth. Right now, Salman Khan isn't protecting his legacy, he's diluting it. And the longer that continues, the harder it will be for him to reclaim it. Because fame fades, fan bases grow up, but legacy is what's left when the noise is gone. Now, here's where it gets a little bit complicated, the fans. Because Salman still has one of the most loyal fan bases in India. There are people who show up, defend, cheer, and chant his name like it's muscle memory. And that loyalty, it's real. It comes from years of connections, of moments, of being there when he lit up the screen like nobody else did. You can't fake that kind of devotion. But the truth is, even the most die-hard fans are starting to shift. Not abandon him, not yet, but you can sense the hesitation. The applause isn't as loud, the tweets feel more forced. There's a difference between loving someone's work and making excuses for it. And lately, it feels like the fan base is doing more of the latter. And that's a sad place to be because fans want to be proud. They want to see their stars rise again, but it's getting harder to defend movies that don't even try. Harder to pretend that charisma alone can carry a film in 2025. Especially when you've got streaming, social media, global content, people are more aware than ever before. Nostalgia isn't enough anymore. You really need substance. So, where does this leave us? Honestly, at a crossroads. But because despite everything, the repetition, the laziness, the creative stagnation, it's not too late. That's the frustrating part. Salman still has the presence, still has the influence, still has the spark that, when used right, can light up a screen. He just needs to want it again. But for that to happen, something has to give. Maybe it's stepping away from the formula, maybe it's working with directors who challenge him instead of worship him. Maybe it's taking a break, going quiet, and coming back with something that actually means something. Something that says, I've still got it, and I'm not afraid to prove it. Because here's the thing, reinvention isn't weakness, it's survival. And everybody who's lasted, Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh, even Saif in his own way, they've understood that. They've embraced that shift. They've embraced it all. They've evolved. And if Salman doesn't do the same, then he won't fade because of the haters. He'll fade because of indifference. And for someone who once was the moment, that would be the real tragedy. At this point, watching a Salman Khan film feels less like entertainment and more like checking in on an old app on your phone that you don't use anymore. Familiar interface, same glitches, still running on an outdated system. You don't expect anything new, but some part of you still clicks. Maybe out of habit, maybe out of nostalgia, maybe just to see if anything's changed. But it hasn't, and that's the problem. The punchlines aren't landing, the slow mos feel slower, even the shots come off with less conviction. And you start to wonder, is this still cinema or is it just performance art about refusing to evolve? Because it's not about bad movies anymore. It's about movies that don't even pretend to try. Projects that feel like they were shot over a long weekend, wrapped with a dance number, and greenlit over a voice note. The bar isn't low, it's under the ground. And instead of digging out, the response seems to be add more VFX, make it louder, drop it on Eid. But here's the truth that nobody's willing to say out loud. We're past the point of being disappointed. We are bored, and that's not something you can PR out your way out of. Because when the audience checks out emotionally, they don't boo, they just stop showing up.